We will now start the questions off with Colton.
Thank you.
Just as a reminder, these questions, you will have 3 minutes to respond. After each candidate has responded, you will have a 1-minute rebuttal if you choose to use it. You do not have to. Once again, you do not have to use all full 3 minutes for your response. Colton, your question is, how do you perceive the student participation on campus? What are the new programs or services you would like to initiate to engage the student body or improve Bakersfield College?
That's a great question. Something I forgot to mention was that I'm running with my partner in crime, VP Janella Roscoe. We really want to engage the students. We want more student involvement. I think the best way to do that, the best way to communicate to people is by word of mouth, by interacting with them in person. I want every single member of the student government to be out there involved, talking to people, going through all the classrooms, talking to everyone. Some people don't even know that a student government exists, and that's kind of ridiculous. I want to change that. I want to personally go out and with each senator, each officer, each member of student government, and show them what it takes to just talk to the head of departments, talk to people who are involved on campus, and ask them what their concerns are. That's the foundation of involvement, is getting people excited and talking to them by word of mouth. After that, we have programs like Student Success Initiative. That's involving things like scholarships and free food. I've talked to people all over campus, and they want free food, they want money, and they want what our resources have to offer, and they don't really know how to get those things. So, I mean, if we're out there talking to people, letting them know how they can have access to all these wonderful things, that's what we need for student government. That's essentially our job. So that's the first thing. I have a lot of initiatives, but planning over the summer is going to be the most important part of my campaign, and that's where we hammer out every single thing that we want to do within the next year. That's things like the monthly festivals, all our initiatives, and we're going to see which ones are practical, and we're going to set up programs that allow for all these initiatives to be accomplished. Maybe it's not next year, but it's going to happen over time, because we're going to leave a legacy that is left for other student governments to carry on. That is what is important. I think that every student on campus should have the mentality that they want to leave everywhere they go a better place. You leave the kitchen and there's a mess in the kitchen, and you just look at it and you don't pick it up. It wasn't your mess, but you should be the one that goes and picks it up, because you want to make the world a better place. You're going to clean that kitchen because you have to, because you want to. You want to make everywhere you go a better place. And that's what students should thrive off of. And that's what's going to lead to success, and eventually all your goals will come true if you have the right mentality and the drive and the motivation. And I want every student to know that. So I guess that's the end of my question and statement. Thank you.
Thank you. Reg, you're up to answer the same question. I will repeat the question for you. How do you perceive the student participation on campus? What new programs or services would you like to initiate to engage the student body or improve Bakersfield College?
The programs that I see at BC right now are, there's a few clubs that come out and they sell things or have events or things like that are on campus. So I would love to get SGA to be a part of that. And let's see, what else? No idea what to say though.
Place for safe people to go. Safe place. Safe haven. Bad idea.
I guess it depends on what the students really want, you know. I mean, as students, you know, what is it that you guys want on campus? A place to sit down. Okay, that's something that I've actually been talking to a few professors about potentially getting more seating here at BC, as well as the Delano campus, because Delano is just as important as BC is. Say that again?
Mental health awareness.
Okay, we can do that too. We actually have the Student Health and Wellness Center right here, and they do have a psychiatrist in there so that people can help there.
I meant between.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is just for the candidates to respond to questions, please. We will ask for audience participation later.
Yeah, I mean, there was maps in the past, so we could potentially bring maps back. And any other things that the students really want, because, you know, I want to be here for the students to say their concerns and then find a solution to their concerns. So that would be my programs.
Wonderful, thank you. Next up, David. You'll be asked the same question. How do you perceive the student participation on campus? What new programs or services would you like to initiate to engage the student body or improve Bakersfield College?
So the first part of the question is on student spirit and involvement. This is a community college, and you know, I was here before 25 years ago, and before I came here I was at Rio Hondo, and it's an age-old question of how to get students involved at a two-year college that you know is generally for transfer, and they've got lives going on and whatnot elsewhere. You know, whatever the rest of the SGA wants to do to try and spirit that up, fine. I'm happy with that, but there's different theories and different ways of doing it every other couple of years and whatnot. I'm more focused on that larger concept of providing more funds for the campus through a different method of making money. In this, in getting involvement in schooling, I strongly believe in democracy classes. Those are classes that are student-led and taught on campus, and not really for you know, transfer units or whatnot. They're more for fun, but they're sponsored by the students. And so I'd be pushing for democracy classes, and I also believe that participation at school is greatly, you know, based on scholarships. And so somehow if you could make a democracy class, have you do what you're learning to produce the money that would produce that scholarship, would actually get somebody here on campus practicing what they're learning. And that's a different way of looking at things. So, you know, that's kind of my focus. There's a lot of different ways of doing everything. You know, there's thousands of college campuses around the United States, and there's a million different ways of doing everything. It's just a different conference that you go to try this or try that, but I've got some new unique ideas and democracy classes and more scholarships. All right, I'm pretty much done.
Thank you very much. Next up will be Clayton. Clayton, how do you perceive the student participation on campus? What new programs or services would you like to initiate to engage the student body or improve Bakersfield College?
I believe that all the students here want to get involved. They're just not given that opportunity to be involved as much as they want to be. Like I said earlier, my big push is to increase attendance at all the events that we have here on campus. In a couple weeks, hopefully I'll have a meeting with the guy that's in charge of the Helmet Club, big supporter of BC sports, specifically the football team, and sit down on how we're going to advertise for our sporting events on campus. So that's the first initiative to increase attendance or and student involvement. And the other ones would be to inform students about SOF grants, which are soft grants, or student organization funds, to let the clubs know that they have money through student government that can help them fund activities that they want to do. Another thing is to create a student life app. We've talked about this a lot in student government, about the possibility of doing this, but this way we can reach out to the students and everyone knows what's going on campus. A big problem in student government that we've been having is coming up with really cool events, but we tell you about them a day or two before. So as president, I think that we should put those out there at least a couple weeks in advance, hopefully around a month, just so students are engaged, they know what's happening on campus. And through the Student Life app, you can follow clubs or organizations, and then any activities on campus. Anything that's happening will be on there. So those are my big pushes that I want to do to get students more involved.
Thank you very much. Jacob? You didn't answer this, right? No. Okay, making sure. How do you perceive the student participation on campus? What new programs or services would you like to initiate to engage the student body or improve Bakersfield College?
One thing I believe every student here needs to understand is that BC has great potential. And like I spoke about in the opening statement, it is up to us as a student to utilize that to your advantage, to kind of take pride in the fact that you have these opportunities. And for the sake of involvement, every person out there has the opportunity to start a club. Hey, you have an idea? Bring that idea to the table. SGA is not here for SGA. It is not us that has the power. It is the student, the scholar. And I believe that it's time for SGA to truly represent this idea. If not only clubs, but study groups is another way to get involved. If you understand the power of a study group, I believe the engineering department, the mathematics department, and I'm sure other departments as well have study groups, but utilize these things. To get the true great college experience, you have to get involved. And as president, I will do my best to encourage every student here to take advantage of the opportunities that BC has.
Thank you very much. We will go to our 1-minute rebuttal. If anyone would like to add anything, starting with Reg. Clayton? Jacob? Colton?
Okay, I guess this 1 minute will go into rebuttal, but I just kind of wanted to discuss some of the ideas I have for next year that will be planned out over the summer and organized into a calendar and made possible. And I mean, if you want to get something done, you have to plan for it. And just a little advice for life. Something that's wrong with Bakersfield College is the handicap facilities. We have horrible handicap facilities. If you're a handicapped individual and trying to get around on campus, you can't get anywhere. So first of all, I want to start a movement, a committee, and a program that allows for handicapped students to be represented. Student government is a perfect opportunity to do that. We need more industry forums, more recruiting fairs, career fairs, and these events like less regulations on clubs and organizations. They should have the freedom to do what they want, when they want, and get money from us, get resources from us. If they want to lead an initiative to go tour a campus, they shouldn't have to file too much paper. We should streamline that process is what I'm trying to say. Not that we're, handing out money and stuff like that, but
Thank you.